When we think about joint venturing, we often think about people emailing their lists for the products and offerings that we have. But there's so much more to it.
JVology is a great brand, great group of people. Everybody is a heart-centered entrepreneur who cares a lot about their customers, and they deliver great value.
The quality and the caliber of people in this room is amazing.
Every single person in the room is handpicked. They are qualified to be in the room. They are qualified to play.
Because they have proven time and time again to be abundant, powerful players in the marketing spaces, in different businesses, as coaches, as entrepreneurs.
Really genuine people, authentic.
There's a lot of people in the room who have some amazing perspectives.
Every single time I attend one of these JVology summits, I get a ton of value.
I actually am leaving today with promotions booked on other people's calendars. My calendar's full.
I'm convinced that I walked away with $500,000 of revenue just from this event.
3 times when you get to engage with the room. One is you do a pitch to the room of your JV, your joint venture that you want to provide to other people to make money.
Secondly, they get a mastermind, which is an opportunity to bring a pressing problem or a thought or wanting to tap into the genius of the room. If you were trying to engage them individually, they are measured in the thousands of dollars an hour or per part day to kind of tap into that expertise. And you've got 3 days of really getting their feedback around particular problems, issues, etc. And it is unbelievable what comes out of that creation. And then the third area is a gift, a chance to show some appreciation or give a gift of value that might be your genius or something you can contribute back to the group.
Having the time for people to understand my business, and that really came out of in between the sessions that we had. So over lunches, over dinners.
More like a retreat and less like a workshop.
So we get out of the classroom, so to speak, and actually get to go out there into the real world.
Yesterday we did iFly, which is you jump in a huge wind tunnel tube and do indoor skydiving, which is pretty cool.
You're hovering in the air and whirling around, and
it was something that most of us were doing for the first time. So it was this shared, awkward, uncomfortable, uncertain experience, and ultimately that brings people together, right? Our fears, our anxieties bring us together into the collective experience, and it allowed us to bond at a level that, again, you normally don't have, because most events don't have that type of experiential component, and I think Jay and Josh did an incredible job in thinking through that.
What I expected, you guys delivered way beyond expectations.
I trust Jay and Josh to cultivate only the best.
Jay has made this event not about him or about the facilitators. It's literally an event where everybody is exchanging information. It's very open, it's very free.
Jay and Josh are seamless.
Josh is focused on the technology piece, on the marketing piece, and Jay has 27 years of experience.
Understanding that business isn't just about use and be used, want 'em, got 'em, need 'em. It's also about who are we being in the world.
I mean, as much as we learned, we laughed, we connected.
All of life, all of business is really about relationships.
if you get an invitation to a JVology summit, it really is a gift, and you'd be foolish not to accept that gift.
It was the piece that my business was missing, and I cannot wait to come back to the next one.
I'm going to go through and motor fairly quickly because there are these three presentations that I want to outline. And gang, by the way, if there's any questions about anything as we're going through this process, just pop your hand up and I will unmute you and we can answer them and all the rest of it. But I want to just because we've got some sort of old pros, people who've been there since the beginning, some people who are coming for the very first time. So I just want to give you the broad strokes of what transpires. So first and foremost is I believe that it is safe to say that this is an event like none other. And what I mean by that is that this is a peer-driven event. There are no big sales pitches. Nobody's going to be selling from the stage. There are no sponsors. There are none of those sorts of things. This is a group of somewhere between 25 and 32 people that show up to get to know one another, to build relationships with one another, to serve and support one another, take their next step in their business. And we do that having a ton of fun, and we create an environment where we get to bring our whole selves to it. And what I mean by bringing our whole selves to it is simply that given the people who come, you can check your ego at the door. You can come in with your greatness and your challenges and all those sorts of things. And regardless of where you're at or what's going on, we're going to do our very best to love you, to support you, and to inspire you to take your next steps. And for those of you who've been there before, I know that makes sense. And for those of you who haven't, you're probably thinking, what the hell is the guy talking about? But it will be abundantly clear when you get there. What will occur over the 3 days is basically each of you will do 3 presentations. Now, the 3 presentations are very simple and straightforward. The first of which is a JV, well, we'll call it a pitch for lack of a better term. But the JV pitch is basically 2 minutes that says, hey, this is who I am. This is what my program is. This is what kind of a joint venture partner I'm looking for. This is what's in it for you in terms of how you'll be paid. And away it goes. And I'll actually do a sample pitch here today just to give you an idea of what it is that we're talking about. Now, that presentation, generally speaking, includes a handout of sorts. And if you see under the little handouts tab, if you click on that document, and I'll pop it open here so you can see it. If you click on that document, it opens up a sample that I have. And obviously, you can get way sexier about this process than I did. But just have a little handout, and I'll go through this in greater depth and detail in a moment or two, but have a little handout that people can actually follow along with, make some notes on, all the rest of it. And that presentation is not necessarily your first, but it is perhaps one of the most important presentations that you're going to do, because it lets people know what you're up to, what you want, how all of those things are going to go. That's your first presentation. Now, the second presentation is an opportunity to do a mastermind, okay? Now, this is where you're going to bring a goal, or you're going to bring an issue that you would like to tap into the wisdom, the insight, and the brilliance of everybody in the room to serve and support you with that particular goal or issue. Now, a couple of things about this is, number one, bring a goal or an issue that is commensurate to the brilliance in the room. And what I mean by that is that if you were paying for coaching time from the people who are going to be sitting in that room, you would quite likely be paying hundreds of thousands of dollars an hour. So bring something that is significant and important, not I have a hangnail, and not, what color should my logo be? Like, hire a designer for that. We're talking about the process of building, scaling your business, making your unique contribution, knocking it out of the park for your tribe. So bring a goal or an issue. Now, a couple of hints about this. Number one, if you are relatively new to the JV thing, I would strongly suggest that you bring a goal or an issue that is related to your JV offer, meaning that it will give you a little bit more bandwidth. You can get people's experience and wisdom and opinion about what you should be doing to maximize that joint venture proposition. That just makes good sense. So, and Jane, I'm just going to use you for an example, just because you're the last person who made a comment, is that you have an unusual offer with an unusual skill set that is very cool and an interesting way for people to get to see themselves and to have some sort of self-perception and self-awareness. Jane could come and say, hey, I've got this thing that some people might sort of turn their nose up at as being a little bit odd, but I want to actually serve high-level CEOs in mainstream businesses with this skill because I know it'll knock it out of the park for them. How could we do that? So she could actually then utilize that as part of the goal or the issue that she's dealing with. It will help us understand what her JV offer is even better. And for those of us that come up with great ideas, it probably greatly increases our likelihood to actually do some work with her. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay, perfect. So that's the second one, is the goal or the issue. So give some thought to this. Don't just like, oh, I think I should do this. Be respectful of the talent in the room. Then the third one is this, is that we do something that is really cool. I love this. It's one of my favorite pieces of this entire time together, is that everyone brings a gift of gratitude. And the way I describe this, and I want you to think about this, is imagine that there's 30 people sitting in a room, and every single one of those 30 people could add to your bottom line in the next 6 to 18 months, 6 figures. They could add over $100,000 to your bottom line. Now, what would you want to do to invest in that relationship? What would you want to do to be remembered by that person? What would you want to give them to start this relationship out on a really powerful, positive, and amazing note? Now, This can be anything. And we've had everything from bottles of wine to custom-made chocolates to a singing telegram to $10,000 speaking programs to a day in the studio to actually produce a product on video and audio. Like, people have been stunningly generous in terms of their wisdom, their time, their resources, like really stunning. And just think about it from the perspective of what would be the greatest contribution I could make for a long-term relationship that is significantly bigger and more powerful than just this little JV pitch that I'm going to make. Because the truth is, if we actually get one another and become friends of one another and serve and support one another, then what happens is it's not really about what we're selling. It's about how do we find a way to serve and support one another with what their contribution to the planet is. So those are the three presentations. And I should just add to this idea of the generosity piece is that I always give a gift to the person who we as a group vote or deem to be most generous. Okay, so give some serious and significant thought to this. And there is usually not usually, there's always a really powerful gift that we give as a prize. So that's has been an entire day with me that's worth $10,000. That has been complimentary tickets to the next JV Summit. And this year it will be even better. So those are the three presentations. And I just want to make sure that we are all on the same page, that we get what the three presentations are. If there's any questions I can answer about them, now is the time. Has anyone actually stayed at that particular hotel before, other than the people who have been in our crew? Because I want to let you know that they have one of the coolest indoor-outdoor hot tubs. So please make sure that you bring swimming trunks so that, you know, after an evening in the room or skiing, those sorts of things, you can go hang out in the hot tub. It is really it's just one of the most beautiful spots on the planet. You will absolutely love it. So make sure that you bring that as well. And then the other piece is that we always bring out a sommelier, and friends and clients of mine run this really fantastic wine store in Calgary called Vine Styles. So they'll come out, they'll educate us a little bit about wine, some wine tasting stuff. If you drink wine, great. If you don't drink wine, not to worry. It is designed as a social event and a get to know one another event and a educational event. All good. If you abhor wine and you would prefer to bring a bottle of scotch, you can do that. Or if you prefer to bring herbal tea, that's all good too. Whatever it is, you are welcome. But that's also a really fun, cool night and evening. Any questions about the two additional activities? All right, all good. What's the best way to get from the airport to the hotel? So there is that Brewster's, there's a Brewster's, what do you call it, shuttle. But honestly, Michelle, what I would strongly suggest is if we know when you're coming in, there's going to be a bunch of people going out. I would first of all just try and see based on when you're coming in, if anybody's going out there and they could grab you. So what I might suggest, are you coming in the morning of? The day before. So if you're coming in the day before, here's what I might suggest to you, and I know that a couple of other people are coming in the day before. I might suggest if you come in the day before, if you're going to stay in Calgary, to just get a room in what we call Motel Village. There's a beautiful little hotel there called Aloft. It's a brand new one, but that's right on 16th Avenue, where people literally have to drive by to get out to Kananaskis. And if you were doing that, if you're there, I'm certain that somebody would be able to stop by, grab you, and scoot you on out there. And Amon was just asking, if I'm renting a car, should I rent an SUV or a regular economy car is okay? You know what? The Calgary has the most completely batshit crazy weather in the universe, and it can change in like 15 minutes. So, but just for safety and comfort and all that fun, wonderful things, I'd probably just rent a 4-wheel drive just to be 100% feeling comfortable about it. John was just asking about how long is the gift of gratitude presentation. John, it varies all over the place because I have seen people, literally. So I need I need 5 minutes for a singing telegram. To on a break, people gave a gift of a beautiful little gift card that was on everybody's chair, and then they just asked them to open it and described what it is and how people can take advantage of it. That took no more than 30 seconds. So we play that by ear, and I don't really have a big limitation to it. But I ask it to just be laser and concise in such a way that people understand what they're genuinely getting, but isn't belaboring the point. So we play that pretty open and freewheeling. We are going to be starting at 2 p.m. So we start at 2 p.m. the first day. Now, the last thing I wanted to share just about in terms of the structure of the process is that on the second evening, and by the way, your breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything is taken care of for you when we're there, with one exception, which is on the second evening, we leave an open, yes, on the 6th. We leave an open evening. So if there's somebody there that you're connecting with, it's like, good Lord, we have to do a deal together, and you want to just grab them and do a private dinner so that you can, focus on how you guys are going to craft a deal, then you guys just go off and do that part on your own. But other than that, everything is taken care of for you. You don't have to worry about a thing. Okay, so let's just talk about the JV recruitment pitch. And the JV recruitment pitch, I want to be as clear as I can, is that you're going to have 2 minutes, and it's really like 2 minutes only. And 2 minutes is a really long time if you are focused on the correct things, okay? It is not a very long time if you feel compelled to share the foundation and the creation of your particular modality and how you came about, being the world leader in it. That doesn't really jive and it doesn't really work. So what I want you to do is to not focus on the modality and the reason it's great and all those sorts of things. Here is the fundamental foundation point that I want everyone here to wrap their head and heart around, is that make the assumption that people see you as the rock star you are. I'm going to say that again. Make the assumption that people see you as the rock star you are, okay? I say no to people attending this thing all the time. The people who are actually here are people who are doing real work in the world with a monumental impact, with a huge vision, who are professionals. They've been at it. Like, you guys are rock stars, okay? So you don't need to sell us on you being a rock star. You're going to make the assumption that everyone who's at the front of the room is a rock star and everyone sees you as a rock star. Have a little fun with me. Just type in, I'm a rock star. Well, I don't know. That's pretty slow. But does this make sense? Because if you really get this piece, then you don't have to worry about the sales pitch piece about what it is and how it works. Take that as the assumption. So 2 minutes for the JV recruitment piece is actually a long time when we're really focusing on what's going on. So I'm going to just go back to the one sheet. I'm going to ask that every single person here, come on, little machine, that every single person here puts a little time, effort, and energy into outlining their one sheet. And just because I changed the screen, I just want to make sure that everybody sees the one sheet that's in front of me, the little Microsoft Word document. Can you see that? Just confirm with me, please. Okay, perfect. So the highlight of this is it's just a document that has the important pieces. It's got dates, it's got the dollars, it tells them what they're going to learn in terms of commissions. It outlines the pre-launch content. If you have statistics, then you can share some of the statistics with them. If there's bonuses, share that. Talk to them a little bit about prizes. Give them the details about how to actually get signed up and if they have any questions. Done. And give a little white space, by the way, for people to make notes about what's going on to see if it's a match for them and all of those key elements. Okay? Super short, clean, simple. You don't need to hire a graphic designer. Just get the important information down. Okay. Any clarifying questions about the one sheet? Stats. Well, if you have them, share them. If you don't have them, then tell the truth. You don't have them. That's part of what Jane, you and I were talking about, is if you could focus in on a couple of those key sessions and have some ideas around that, because it will make a difference. Okay. Now, I want to be clear about this. Let's be clear that joint ventures are a way to grow our business. And all of us would like to be rewarded for the time, effort, and energy that we've put into building our lists and taking care of our clients and doing all of the things that, creates a powerful community that each of us has done in our own world, in our own ways. So absolutely there is a monetary consideration for, am I going to joint venture with someone? There's absolutely a monetary consideration. Now, the other side of that is there's lots of ways in which we can leverage our lists. So we want to combine this with, on the one hand, yes, give us the stats. On the other hand, it can sometimes, a yes is more about a relationship than it is about any statistic. Ideally, it's both and. And Robin, you were just sharing, I'm not convinced I'm JV ready. I totally get that, and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to clarify a couple of things. And we may have to hustle to get you JV ready as fast as we can. Now, I'll go through this piece first, and then we'll talk more about it momentarily, okay? Are we clear about the one sheet, first of all? Yepers, clear, fabulous. Okay, grand. So I'm just going to tuck that away. And by the way, I gave it to you as a doc file, so you can R&D it, which means rip off and duplicate to your heart's content. All good. Now, I want to just give you a brief example of a JV pitch. And I'm going to put myself on the clock because I don't even think that it will take me 2 minutes, but this will give you a good sense of what it is. Hello everyone, I'm Jay Fazette, and I am the founder of a program called Launch Your Mastermind 90-Day Bootcamp with an umbrella brand called Mastermind to Millions. Now, I've been leading masterminds for over 27 years, and we are now approaching our third launch in January, which is going to be happening January 14th to 28th. And I would love everyone here who has a list of coaches, authors, and subject matter experts to become my JV partner and to participate in the Launch Your Mastermind 90-Day Bootcamp. Now, this 90-Day Bootcamp is an absolutely kick-ass program, and it is the standard for launching masterminds in the industry, full stop. Our pre-launch content is frankly, our free pre-launch content exceeds many people's paid programs in this domain. So in the past, people who have played with us, Lisa Sasevich won our last launch, the one before that, Justin Livingston, Bill Barron, Ted McGrath. So we've had some of the major players in the industry participate in our launches because the content and our conversions are off the hook. So if you're interested in serving and supporting your tribe to make the leap from one-to-one to one-to-many using masterminds, this content will absolutely thrill your tribe. You'll get thank yous just from the free content. Now, in terms of financial reward, you will get 40% of all sales if you're sort of dabbling, meaning that you might send a couple of emails and you might make a couple of online posts, but you will get 50% if you mail all 3 pieces of pre-launch content in order. So if you mail all 3, you get 50%. So that means $1,000 in your pocket for every single sale. If you're interested in doing this project, please come talk to me when we're having wine or at lunch, and I'm happy to fill you in on all of the details. I'd be thrilled to have you as a partner. Done. And I'm done with 15 seconds to go. That's it. There's nothing more, nothing less. And what will occur is you'll make some notes if you think that it's a match or if you want to do follow-up questions. Now, what we do here, and this is not the time to cut the deal. Yes, absolutely. I can show the one sheet. And Michelle, if you just look in the handouts of the tab and click on, there's actually a file right there you can download as well, but I will show you the one sheet. Cancel. Word, or did I close that after I got there? No, there it is. So this is the one sheet. So it just talks about the dates, it talks about the price, it talks about the commission, it talks about the content, it talks about some of our key indicators, all of which are exceptionally strong. Does that help? Oh, I just meant while you were pitching. Sorry. Yes. So yeah, if you didn't have it, that's that. So that's what we're talking about. There's not a big Q&A scenario there. What happens is most of the deals, most of the yeses are actually handled over breakfast, over lunch, over dinner, on the ski hill, by the fire pit, and in the hot tub. That's really where most of the deals are actually done. This is just an opportunity for you to get in front of qualified JV partners to make your fundamental presentation. Does everyone need prizes? No, absolutely not. Any clarifying questions about the pitch? Because over and over again, in particular with new people, it's like, oh my God, what am I going to say? How's it going to go? So you get up there, you be yourself, and you tell us the truth about what's going on with your launch and what you want to do. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Questions, my friends? All good. Okay, so let us talk about being JV ready. And actually, gang, you know what? I want to just pause this for one moment. Give me 1 second because I just got to run out. Give me 1 sec. All right, gang, I'm back. I just had to say a quick little good night. The boys are getting up to bed. So I just want to make sure how many presents to bring. So here's what happens is that we sell 32, so it'll be somewhere between, in terms of the herding cats of things that happen with this particular crew of people, it'll be somewhere between 25 and 32. I would prepare for 32. If someone's a coach and doesn't want me coaching their clients, should I tell them that I have other options that I'm happy to discuss with them if they fit better? 1000%. And just to be clear about this, and this is a bit of an exaggeration, but it's not far off the mark, because almost everybody in that room is a coach of some sort or another. And one of the fundamental groundings that's important in terms of this whole JV arrangement is that we all recognize that different people need to hear the same message at different times from different people at different reasons. And in the JV world, we just take that as it is what it is. So you can absolutely have that conversation with them, and the more transparent the process, the better. Can you talk more about the prizes? Are these the launch prizes? On my one sheet, Aman, is that what you're referring to? I'm not certain that I understand your question completely. Yeah, so just to be clear about that, I'll go back to that form just to give you a quick picture. So one of the things in our large scale launch is we want to really incentivize some of the people to play. So, in our first two launches is that for launch prizes alone, we gave away over $35,000 US. Plus we gave away mastermind time in terms of coming in and joining us at a mastermind. And we incented speaking spots. So both Justin and Lisa won speaking spots at the Mastermind to Millions by placing first. So that's what those prizes are. And prizes can be a really powerful tool to engage the right people to play with you. And we did that as strategically as we possibly could to get the highest level players motivated to participate and support our launch. Does that make more sense, Aman? Perfect. Okay, so let's jump back to the JV ready piece. And this, Robin, was part of what you were saying in terms of I'm not 100% sure that I'm ready. It's all good. So the 61% conversion, overall conversion, can you tell me what that conversion you're referring to? Is that conversions of what to what? That is click to opt in. So if you sent us 3 people, basically we got 2 out of the 3 of them to opt in to the campaign and to opt into the process. Make sense? All right. So to be JV ready, this is one of the things that I want you to, and just to be clear about that, Aman, I just want to back up, is that's over all 3 pieces of pre-launch content. So pre-launch content number 2, which is quite literally off the charts, like up to 76% on even cold traffic, but that's the overall average of all 3 together. Okay, so to be JV ready, I want to be super clear about this, is that this does not necessarily mean a JV ready in a traditional, 3 pieces of pre-launch content process. There are 12 billion ways in which we can joint venture together and really support one another to build and scale our businesses and to provide better value and a broader range of support resources to our clients. So to be JV ready, here's what you have to have is a specific program, product, or an event. Now this could be online, this could be offline. This could be a combination of online and offline. It doesn't much matter. Hell, it could be straight up coaching if you had a unique enough niche. Straight up coaching would be a tough thing to do if it's just plain old life coaching or business coaching. But if you had a unique enough niche, even that could work. Now, the next piece is you have to have some form of an affiliate system in place. Now, what that means to me, and you'll find that the vast majority of people who are a part of this community are using Infusionsoft. Now, John, I think you did take the Infusionsoft leap when we were talking about this ages ago, or did you do Entreport? I'm having a brain fart. I don't remember which direction you went. Okay, So the thing about the affiliate system being in place, and I believe most people here are sophisticated enough to get this, is that the purpose of the affiliate system is, of course, to have transparent tracking and to know what you're earning, to know how your emails are doing, to know all of those pieces. And in an ideal world, that is an entirely integrated system. Most people will find that the vast majority of this community is working with Infusionsoft. That doesn't mean that you can't be a great JV partner with 10,000 other tools that exist out there, but there needs to be a process where we can sign up as an affiliate, we know what's going on, and we can move and shake in that process. All right. Now, the next is some form of an opt-in process. Now, what this means is you have emails or something that we can send on your behalf. So you have what we will refer to as swipe copy. That email says, hey, and Robin, I'm going to speak directly to you in terms of, I know you have this new program, but you know what? This doesn't need to be complex. It could be as simple as, hey, my friend and client, Robin, who has taught tens of thousands of kids to play piano over the bunch of years, who has taught piano teachers how to, have requirement based. She is taking all of those skills, those decades and those thousands of kids, and is translating it into what it takes to be a parent that rocks parenting without the drama. I know her, I like her, I love her, I trust her, and I'm using the system myself. You should check this out because she is a free resource at this link. So it doesn't need to be complex. And by the way, generally speaking, with people's short attention spans, the shorter the better, okay? We don't need 17 pages of text. We need the core message, short and sweet. So you have some swipe emails for us to tailor and customize to send to our list. That email is going to go to a landing page, which, Lead Pages is your friend. And that landing page is going to go to a conversion process of some sort. Now, that could be a webinar. That could be a one-on-one consult, Jane. That could be a live event. One of the best joint ventures I ever did was with Laurel Langmeyer, where all I did was send emails. They went to a landing page, got a free ticket for a live event where Laurel came and spoke, and she sold people into her 3-day to cash program. We made great money. She made great money. People learned a ton about selling. Like, it was a really powerful process. I was a raving fan. So it doesn't need to be a webinar, just a conversion process of some sort, which is what the next piece is. So there's lots of ways for that to look. It can be any way your heart desires. So when I see people saying, things like, "Oh, I'm not JV ready," when you have Infusionsoft and you actually have a real program and you have tens of thousands of clients you've served over the last 25 years, honest to goodness, I call a little bit of bullshit because the truth is, all you need to do is write an email, have a landing page, and move them to something to convert, which is a webinar or a one-on-one. This does not need to be the full-blown product launch formula, Jeff Walker, complicate your lives, as many of you know, Joshua and I have done. It can be simple and clean and easy. So, Jane, I'm just seeing, is it realistic if someone does not opt in for a free strategy session to be able to enroll them into a $3,500 program if it's their first exposure to me? That depends on your conversion capacities, okay? Jane, I know people who do that all day long. So is it possible? Hell yes. Might you need to do some practice and testing on it in terms of you being comfortable with it? Hell yes. So that makes more sense to you, Robin, because don't confuse being JV ready with having a Jeff Walker product launch formula process. Tons of money can be made and tons of value can be created in very simple, clean systems. Okay, all good. Are there any questions about being JV ready and how I might be able to support you becoming JV ready? And I'm totally, by the way, thrilled and happy to do everything I can to support that process, gang. You are welcome. I'm glad that this was helpful. And I guess here's the last thing I want to say about this in terms of putting the pieces together is, for those of you who are arriving the first time, I usually get a bunch of like, what's the right thing? What should I wear? And all the rest of it. And here's the thing I want you just to be really clear about. Just come and be yourself. In every single person here, I have hand selected. Every single person I have had conversations with. Every single person here gets what we're up to. So come and have fun, serve and support one another, and let the business unfold from who you are. It's as simple as that. Just let the business unfold from who you are, and you will be stunned and amazed at how that plays out. All right, my friends, I look forward to being of service. If you have anything you want to run past, feel free to do so. And if you need rides and details and all those sorts of things, post everything you can on the Facebook page. By the way, for those of you who are listening to this afterwards, I want you to post your introduction, post who you're looking for. If you have dates that you already know for your launches, post those as well. If you need assistance with rides or winter, any of those sorts of things, that's what the Facebook page is for. And I and my team and we'll be in there. We'll do everything we can to help you out. So on that note, gang, I still have time to go up and do a little bit of reading with the boys. So I am going to hustle. I wish you the very best. All right, my friends, have a great night, and we will talk soon. I look forward to being of service. Bye-bye.
Hi, Michael LaCour here with Symbiosis. I can't express just how valuable this experience has been. I'm all about collaboration, and this is a group of collaborative movers and shakers that have expanded the resources available to my business to help me grow in a way beyond anything I could possibly imagine. I've attended well over 100 events, probably spent over $500,000 in the last 15, 20 years on events, and by far I've gotten more out of this one event than the last 5 years combined. It's absolutely amazing. Get yourself here. If you're even thinking for a moment that this could have value for you, this is one of the best decisions and best investments you'll ever make in your life.
Hey, I'm Michael. I'm at the JV Summit event. I've come to this event many times over the years. I've come to lots of Jay's events over the years, and I am continually in amazement at a couple of things. Number one, the level and caliber of talent that's in this room for this past 3 days is so incredible. I'm with people who I have heard about online, read about online, and to actually be in the same room sitting beside them, I still have to pinch myself. I just can't believe I'm with these people and learning from these people. The second element, which is always so amazing, which makes this so different than any other networking event, is the depth of the sharing, the depth of the support that is transpiring here in this room. I just get so many gifts from that. I learn so much and just am so grateful to be here. Recommend it to anybody who needs to up their game.
Tamerlane here with Facebook Faucet. I just finished JVology Summit and it was so amazing. Jay and Joshua attract such an amazing crowd of people. It's like a second family here, and I can't believe all the valuable things that I'm taking away from here. In fact, my whole strategy for the year is coming out of this summit, and I'm just so excited and grateful that I got to be here. The hardest part about being here is going to be going home and figuring which of the $100,000 worth of gifts that I'm taking home I'm going to sign up for first and use to grow my business to the next level. So you got to be here. If you're going to be here next time, I already signed up. See you then.